What's up, guys? This is Hoser again. Just want to give you a quick update and a very important note that I just learned. A couple, I guess, about my overflow pipe that I don't think very many videos have kind of focused on. I even got my flashlight today. See, there's my pipe. See it there? I'll show you from the side here. There. Working. See it working. Overflowing. It's all good in the neighborhood. And I put a little piece of wood there to make it kind of, because like see how there's a big gap there, so it's kind of loose. It moves back and forth, so I kind of propped it there so it wouldn't move from place to place. Also, to silence it, I put this little hose. I saw that on a video, and I tried very many different things, and I don't know, it seemed to work, but I stuck a little air hose in there, and that seems to be working. I can show it to you here. You can hear the sound. Just stuck that air hose in there. I also put some like little fiber filter in there on the top, and I just stuck the hose back in. Just quieted it down. Works like a charm. I forget what video I saw that from. I apologize, but that ain't giving them credit. But anyways, we're all here to learn. So but anyways, that's one of the things that I wanted to show you guys of how I silenced my overflow from the gurgling. And also I wanted to say that this is very important, is this cap here that you use for the overflow so that the fish don't fall in there. I didn't have a cap at first. Two of my fishes were being nosy and they went in there, got stuck in the pipe, had to take everything apart, had to flush it out. One of them actually went all the way through because it was kind of small, but the other one didn't. It came out and it was still swimming around. It survived for about a day or so and then it died. But that's not even the major thing, because there were, like, you know, you could replace those fish, it's okay. My major point is these holes here that you drill on this cap. Once you drill them and the water's flowing and you're happy, excuse me, make sure you test them. Make sure you test this tank, this pump that you have connected to it, because if you see that it's flowing and everything is cool, that's fine. But the part that you have to test the most is having it shut off, like power off, like if you lost power, because all the water will flow and everything is cool, and it does have like a suction back from the output. It goes back also into the tank. So you let that happen, and then you need to measure and make sure that your tank doesn't overflow. This didn't happen to me, but that's also a note that I remembered that could have. Make sure that your water level is, you know, good for you, that you know that it's, you know, maybe like 3/4 full or however you want, as long as it doesn't overflow. But the problem for me was when it turns back on. So it turns back on and the pump just starts to pump water out, and this flow here has to catch up to that water flow that's just coming out like crazy. And my problem was that these holes, some of them were not, it wasn't enough. They weren't big enough. So what ended up happening is the water started coming over the cap, and it basically went over the tank and it overflowed. Happened to me twice. The first time was because why was it? I don't even know why. But it has, oh, I'm sorry. The first time was because I had this pipe, and the pipe that I used was 1/2 inch. I think I posted a video, or I'm going to post a video about that. So I changed it to 3/4 inch and put the cap back on. Everything was cool, but the problem is that I never changed the output here. And this output here is still a 1/2 inch hose. So it comes out through the 3/4 inch, no problem. It goes in through the 1/2 inch hose because it wasn't enough water to begin with a 1/2 inch pipe. The 3/4 inch pipe, yeah, that thing flows like crazy. You could see it. You could see the water just flowing. Before it was trickling down, and that was because the 1/2 inch pipe, it wasn't enough water just coming down. With the 3/4 inch pipe, there's more water flowing, so it comes out faster, it fills up faster. But if your pump is flowing more water than what this little cap can support, it's just gonna overflow. So you have to make sure that you test it a couple of times. And now that I figured it out, I turn it off and then turn it back on and then watch it fill up. And if you notice, the water doesn't really go all the way over the cap because I put some on the side, on the bottom. Not too big to where that's my water level, but enough so that, because I don't want the food to be coming in through here and clogging it up. So I put holes on the bottom. Oops, can't really see there. See that? Right there. There's holes underwater, and the water, that's like where it's keeping the water level. That's the way I like it. So it doesn't really overflow much on the top, but when it's pumping out a lot of water, the water does come over. So you need to have enough holes so that it can support that water, that extra water that's just coming out like crazy. Because you have to understand that there's still that air pocket that's in there because, you know, it was turned off. So it takes a little while for the air pocket to go through and come out and then continue and have the perfect suction. So trial and error, and just going one drill bit at a time. I started drilling every other hole, not all of them, because I don't want it to just be constantly coming out that way, because then the bottom holes will become the water level, and I don't want that. So now it's working really good. Now it works really good. It covers it up, and I don't know if you guys bear with me, I can give you a demonstration. Maybe I should pull this out a little bit. Give me a minute. Like so. Alright, so now if I turn off the simulate a power outage, I'm going to unplug the pump here. Okay. So now, let's just say there's a power outage. The water starts sucking in from here. You can see the water starts coming down here, water level. It's better if I show you from the front. You don't drop the camera. So you can see the water level from the output there, and then also the water level from here. You can hear the gurgling because it's a backward siphon now since the pump is turned off. And until that water level completes, then and it doesn't have any more water to suck through, then it'll stop, and then that'll stop. You can see the water level right now is right at the part where I drilled the holes here, because it's supposed to be that way. So now you can see that my water level went up to that point, and it's still not high enough. I could put more water in there, but then the water won't trickle down because it's a small little canister. If you remember, I was just testing it to try to make one for my salt water. So I didn't want, imagine if all this damage would happen, my salt water, oh, I'd be so mad. Very, very pissed. But anyway, so now let's just say, okay, the power's back on, la-di-da. Everything is cool. So now the pump's gonna go ahead and turn on. There. And now you can see that the water's gonna start flowing here. And it's gonna start rising. See how it's rising? Fishes are being nosy. And that's how the other one fell in there. You could hear it starting to go up. And the holes I drilled on the bottom, every other hole I drilled one bigger than the other, just so it could start sucking in water. But you can see the water rising. It keeps going up because it's pumping more water than it's actually the bottom holes are able to handle. So as it starts going up, I know it's slowly but surely, because the bottom holes are trying to catch up. You can see it. And before my last, the way I had it with the smaller holes, it wasn't enough. So it was more water coming out than water going in because the holes were smaller. And so little by little, like I said, I started drilling one size bigger until I finally got it to this point. And the main center hole is probably like the biggest that I have. And the reason I did that is like when I pour water to refill it, it goes way above the actual position of the cap. So that the big hole in the middle is I guess like my for sure don't overflow safety, I guess. And now you can see it overflowing a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, kind of hard to tell, I guess, but it's overflowing, but it's catching up to it, and it's trying to catch up to that water level. I'm gonna try to, you know what, I have some extra water here, so what I'll do, see, now it's good to go. You don't hear the gurgling, and it's flowing, and everybody's happy. But I'm gonna pour some water in there so you can see it overflow, and then it catches up fast. Give me a minute. I got some water here that I was testing here. Okay. So now I'll show you how it'll overflow, but it'll catch up. See how it overflows? Now the top holes are helping to prevent that water level from going up any higher. And the big hole, obviously in the middle, there's water not even flowing in there anymore. It's just, it already helped out. And then eventually it's just going to come out and just start draining. Everything is, you know, obviously I poured a lot of water in there just to simulate, but you know, that's just, like I said, like an overkill. My pump is actually, I can tell now that it's not enough, it's not flowing enough for it to go even above the cap, which is kind of cool. That's what I want. I don't want it to go any higher, because then if it didn't compensate, then I would have problems, right? Which, like I told you, I did already. Alright, well, I hope this video helps. Just wanted to show you my mistakes here, and what I've been doing and trying to figure things out. And you can see that, you can look at it now on the cap, it's starting to dry up just because there's no water there. Alright, so I hope this video helps. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, you can just let me know, post them up there. I'll answer you what I can. Alright, later.